From the greatest soccer city in America, it's the first place St. Louis Ambush and the Baltimore Blast on CBS Sports Golazo Network. I'm Joey Zanaboni alongside my best friend Matt Rocchio. Boy, oh boy, it feels good to say that the ambush behind MASL Players of the Week, Paulo and Daniel Torrealba, are at the top of the table.
Absolutely. 2 awards. First place right now for the ambush. The defense has to continue. Probably not a good chance they get another shutout tonight. Paulo, though, still the best goalie in the entire league this season, and also on the offensive end, Torrealba has been maybe the most important acquisition for any team this season.
Ambush have won 5 straight. Baltimore, they're doing pretty well themselves. They've won 3 in a row. They're in 5th.
Absolutely, they have. And they've been paced in the last 5-6 games on multi-point streaks by Mayo and Pereira. The ambush, if they want to keep anything close to a shutout tonight, are going to have to keep them occupied the entire night. 22 and 23 to make it easy on you to track them.
The final weekend of February, the first of 3 straight at home for the ambush. It's St. Louis and Baltimore. The MASL right after this on CBS Sports Golazo Network.
When the time comes, we must be ready.
When every second counts.
Be ready.
Act fast.
Do not give up.
Push hard. Keep pushing when it's all on the line.
Be there for each other.
Give it everything you've got.
Do more for your team. Be ready. Stay ready. Call 911. Be ready.
Be ready.
Be ready.
Be ready. Be ready. Call 911.
As parents, we want to put our children on the right path, one that leads them to become intelligent, responsible, compassionate adults. That path begins with a Catholic education. Catholic schools inspire academic excellence with a balanced curriculum that integrates music, arts, world language, and Catholic faith, while challenging students in the areas of science, math, and technology. Help your child reach their full potential. Enroll in a Catholic school today.
Miter is the official game ball supplier of the Major Arena Soccer League. Established in 1817, Miter is one of the leading soccer brands worldwide and produces some of the best soccer balls in the world. Learn more at miter.com. Cabelli Sport is the official and exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider of the Major Arena Soccer League. Visit MASLsoccer.com to shop the all-new MASL fan store for the latest MASL and team gear. Think you can predict the MASL? Head over to NXTbets.com to place your wagers on all the MASL action this season.
From the Family Arena in St. Charles, it's the Major Arena Soccer League on Golazo, the St. Louis Ambush, and the Baltimore Blast. Friday Night Lights, Joey Zanaboni, alongside Matt Rocchio. About time to kick the tires and light the fires for the first place. I cannot say that enough. First place, St. Louis Ambush.
Absolutely incredible run the ambush are on right now. 5 straight wins, 7 out of their last 8. They'll try to keep that run continuing. One of the best teams in the league. Obviously, they're top of the board, but overall, one of the best teams in the league here in their home arena. Can they keep it up? They're coming up against a hot blast squad that has won 3 straight. Their offense has been running pretty well. 4 players with 19 or more points. 5 players with 9 or more goals on the season. It's a spread out attack from the Blast, but they'll get after you.
The last time we were here, Paulo pitched a shutout on February 21st. First time in the MASL history of the Ambush that the team has put together a shutout. What a season he's had. The ageless Brazilian Rob Lowe, MASL leader in basically every category that matters. He's between the pipes tonight for St. Louis. On the other side, it's Julian Rodriguez, who dons the gloves of the Baltimore Blast.
Something big to watch for the Ambush. Couple key changes here in the lineup. James Thomas is in just his 5th game of the season. Julio Varela is in just his 6th game of the season. And also Ozzy Santana gets his 5th call of the year. He's got 3 goals in his first 4 games.
The Ambush have a 3-game homestand with games tonight, Sunday, and next Saturday. You can purchase tickets at Ticketmaster.com, at the Family Arena box office, or by calling the Ambush at 636-477-6363. Ambush in first place. Baltimore, don't overlook them. They're in 5th place, and they will stay in town for the Sunday matinee finale.
I was going to say, did they come to you to plan their Saturday, or what do you think?
A lot of great options here in the St. Charles and St. Louis area, right?
I got to know where they're getting food. That's always the question. Come to St. Louis, one of the best and most hidden food towns in America. As we start this one out a little chippy, and who else but Daniel Torrealba is going to be involved?
Torrealba, 20 goals on the season, one of the top in the MASL. What a breakout star he's been this year. Ambush recontrolling with Randy Martinez. Had a fantastic golazo when the Ambush beat Utica 13-0 on the 21st. St. Louis then took a bus up to Milwaukee, scored 3 times in the 4th quarter while holding the Waves scoreless in that final period to win at 7-6 and get into first place. Christian Briggs unleashes off the wall to Will S.K. Chili Willie leaves back for Daniel Torrealba. Torrealba pulls it back and airmails the shot. 14:21 to go in the first, 0-0. Thanks for being with us again on the CBS Sports Golazo Network. Been a little while since we've been on Golazo. Oh, bad pass. James Thomas almost takes it away. Ozzy Santana does in the center circle and plays it back through Colin O'Keefe. Little sloppiness from the Blast. Second meeting of the season between these two teams, and the first at the Family Arena. They did play on Valentine's Day. That was an Ambush win. Jeff Michaud to Big Rob Williamson. Waterfalls forward. Thomas, little Peloton kick, standing bicycle over him and Chad Porch. And it's Porch who holds on to it. Rodriguez in the green jersey, slipping forward down the right side. Big Rob disrupts that.
Number 93, Jeff Michaud, somebody to watch for. Hasn't played the last 2 games for the Ambush, but is on an 8-game point streak. Obviously has been suspended for the last pair of games. Can he continue that? Move it to 9 games.
Paulo comes bursting out in a bad collision. This foul is going to go against the Baltimore Blast.
The man's 40, Joey. The man is 40.
Can say that for about another 3 months. Gabriel Betancourt came charging through. Paulo helicoptered down.
Oh, you didn't get the memo. We actually have to say he's 40 for the rest of his career.
Celebrates birthday 41, I believe, in June.
Kind of like a 36 thing.
If the automatic gift card that I'm scheduled to send him is right. Paulo, a renaissance season. At the end of last year, we were wondering, is this it? And now he is the best goalie in the MASL. Seems like he'll be goalkeeper of the year. He's certainly the goalkeeper of the week from last week after the shutout. Won that award while Daniel Torrealba took home offensive player of the week after a Hattie to conclude his week against the Milwaukee Wave. Briggs, James Togba uses the hat to nudge it forward, and now off and moving. Ambush, Ryan Keto over to Riley Urey. Sword fishing out Rodriguez off the wall, Umar Silla. Ambush quickly reclaimed. Back in the center circle with Briggs. 12:25 to go, opening stanza. Scoreless so far in St. Charles.
Surprised that Torrealba is playing so far deep today. Usually he's one of the first guys up. He's on the wing. They're trying to take him one-on-one. But here he is paired with SK deep. A very offensive lineup right now with the primary defender, Rob Williamson, kind of spotting in the midfield right there for a little bit.
Torrealba spoons it over the top, looking for Super Mario.
And four of the best offensive players in the last 5 or 6 games for the Ambush right now: Falzone, Torrealba, Esque, and Martinez all on the pitch right now.
And Randy with the ball back in midfield. O'Keefe in front of the Ambush bench.
He hasn't been half bad either.
Glockenspiel's one back to Williamson.
Excuse you?
Glockenspiel. It's like a small xylophone, Rocky.
I was going to say, is he going to xylophone something next?
I
forgot what a glockenspiel was.
We played Glockenspiel together in music class.
Yes, we did, sir.
As our regular viewers know, Rocky and I went to grade school together. Burst through for Juan Pereira. Luckily, the Ambush able to snuff it. Torrealba in the back. Glove by Paulo. Rolled out to him.
Music class at our school was kind of like defense against
Falzone through the middle. Briggs deprived by Rodriguez. What a clever pass from Falzone off the wall. Almost a sidewallless score, if not for Rodriguez.
Might be the biggest difference between the Ambush opening season and those 6 games, that glut of games against the Comets, and their last 10, 12 games, which is they're using the wall. It's a fascinating thing to use in this sport. But I mean, the Comets were just completely outplaying them in the wall game to open up the season. They had plays, they had sets. It was part of the game. It was integrated. The Ambush did nothing of really the first 8 or so games. When it came to that lately, though, they've been using the wall. They've been using it to deadly effect. I think it was that kind of shorthanded goal a few weeks ago, almost like 2 months ago, that they got off the wall. It's kind of jump-started their ability to use the wall a little bit more.
St. Louis, so many different dimensions to this team this year, and the offensive creativity has been better. More second chances on the offensive end as well.
They've developed more of a grinded-out mentality. The transition game's still there when you have guys like SK. Obviously, they're going to have to figure out how to replace a guy like Robbie Cristo, who was just kind of getting into his groove before the Achilles injury that happened here just a week ago. So they got a lot of things to work on. They still got things to figure out. But, I mean, Torrealba has just opened up this offense, giving a team a 1v1 threat. It's something the Ambush just haven't had for the last 5 years.
And our best to Robbie Cristo, thanks to our partners at St. Luke's.
Amen.
He's had successful surgery. Injured his Achilles. That was the only tough part of that 13-0 game. Ambush won over Utica on the 21st. And Cristo had a great game. 4 goal contributions. Scored 3 times personally. Jeff Locker marshaling the forces. Head coach, owner of the St. Louis Ambush. Setting guys up as Baltimore gets a free kick right at the goal line.
I know him and Shelley Clark, the owner, feeling great. I mean, this has really been an interesting journey, and we've been side by side for the entire way, really. The struggles of this team as a non-playoff squad. They made the playoffs our first year here, Joey, 5 years ago. But then it's been some struggles in the intermittent years. And here, to see them in first place this late in the season, to see the Family Arena getting a really good crowd tonight as well. It's a beautiful day in St. Louis.
Yeah, about 75 degrees in the St. Louis area.
It's all sunshines and rainbows right now around the St. Louis Ambush.
Well, it looks like we have a little problem with the wall, maybe the glass or a post on the opposite corner.
How about the word stanchion? I like the word stanchion.
All right, we'll go with stanchion. Looks like there's a little stanchion that might be loose on the other side. They're going to adjust that.
Thank you, Joey.
Pause here, 9:50 left in the opening quarter. Joey Zanaboni alongside Matt Rocchio, Ambush and Baltimore Blast.
And I don't know if Ambush fans saw this, but we were calling a game here. Last time we were here, a Utica game, and we pointed out the really special season that one of the Utica players was having, Mearshad Ahmadi. Well, guess what, Ambush fans? A little bit of a fire sale going on up in Utica in the middle of their rough season. Mearshad Ahmadi, having a really special year, is now on the St. Louis Ambush. 3 players moved from Utica City. The Ambush in on one of that trio of transactions. They've added another attacking player, obviously not integrated into the squad just yet from a system-wise thing, but I have a feeling pretty quickly we're going to see Ahmadi on this stretch run, then obviously in the playoffs. He's really having a special season. We talked about just a week ago, maybe him and Torrealba having 2 of the best kind of sophomore campaigns in this entire league, and now they're both on the same squad hoping to push the Ambush for a championship.
Yeah, Ahmadi was the second leading scorer on Utica. Now coming over to the Ambush, he's also the second leading scorer on St. Louis. Thanks to our friend Alyssa and the pink jacket and our great ops team, they have figured out the stanchion and we're ready to go. Final game of February, Play with Heart Month, such an important cause, heart health. And it's an honor to bring it to you as the Ambush and the Blast go at it. Low shot, Paulo won't let that through. Silla scorches it, Paulo rejects it on a small dive. Rodriguez table tennises it right back to him and he catches the pop fly he goes through the first quarter scoreless, we can call it 75 straight minutes at home for Paulo. Ozzie, good move. Santana just smacks it a little bit wide.
And Melo and Pereira really have this team running, and Sila's the other one that joins them with 20 points on the season so far, all of them double-digit goals. It's really special seasons that the Blast put together. It's kind of like we've seen past in the ambush where they're fighting for a playoff squad. They got an offense that kind of pits 3 or 4 guys at the very top where the ball usually funnels through. They're, again, different for the ambush this year is they have, one, a defense that's killing it right now with only 80-something goals allowed so far this season, but also, again, that 1v1 threat that has developed has really changed this offense.
Christian Briggs on the intercept.
Talked about him too, man. He's grown so much from that first year, Joey.
Silla pries down Tagba. And the ambush will take it over defensive lip of the circle. 8:45 to go in the first.
He's never been a big offense guy, but early on in his career, you know, he'd make a mistake here and there, and the ambush didn't have the margin of error for those kind of plays. And now he is just perfectly consistent for this ambush team on the defensive side.
Droops one off the glass. Uri slams it into Marco Antonio de Nascimento. Ends up back with Briggs. Torrealba.
I think the fun thing about the sport is you find out that Nascimento is kind of like Smith in Brazil.
Torrealba hits in the legs of a Baltimore defender. We've got a Nascimento, Paulo Nascimento. There goes the Baltimore Nascimento. Off the wall forward, served through the middle off the board by Alejandro Chavez. Comes to naught. Trevellaed by Torrealba. Hit off a Baltimore guy, collected by Falzone. Torrealba drags laterally. Off the wall, almost put it in. Clipped a little pink on the post. SK tries to turn it back and now turns it back out.
My apologies to our boy Sila. He's tied for second on the team in points with 23. 7 goals to 16 assists. Having a solid season again, and then the defender, Porch, doing a really good job. 12 goals, 7 assists for him. He joins that 4-man group.
Michon de Falzone, cord cut by Nascimento. On his behalf, I accept the apology, and I've got an apology as well, Rocky, on that. Betancourt scratched tonight. Earlier I said he was in a collision with Paulo. That's my mistake. It was actually Nico Williams early in the game who spun Paulo down.
Listen, 8s look like 6s. We've all made that mistake.
That's a mistake right there. Torrealba trying to make him pay.
I like the thought process there. He thought maybe he'd be able to catch the tendy out of his spot a little bit, but Rodriguez right where he needed to be. But I like the idea from Torrealba. I don't think enough guys just turn and kick it when the goalie's out of position in this league, and I think that's a nice way to try to steal a goal.
Let's see if he can get to 30 goals by the time all is said and done in this regular season. A month left. Still on 4 home games. He's at 20 right now. Torrealba, what a year.
It'd be tough, but he's had a lot of multi-goal games this season just because left side, right side, he'll tack it up from pretty much anywhere, and he's got a chance.
And Paulo does a half split at the near post. And Torrealba, young legs. That has been a theme for St. Louis this season. A lot of breakout guys. And Torrealba, the Venezuelan midfielder, he is still just 24 years old. Doesn't turn 25 until September. Pereira, a veteran, he slips and falls. O'Keefe makes him give it back to Nascimento on the lily pad. We're probably going to the media timeout at the next available opportunity.
Pereira's also going to take advantage of the fact that he's got the armband and have a little extra conversation after no whistle came from that.
Thomas pursues. Porch tries to turn it out. Ozzie on the steal. Porch helps influence it away from him. Drop back by Williams.
Also, the influence from Porch there probably saved a goal. And just the defense he was playing on Santana. If Santana had the time to cross that in front of the goalie's face, it's probably 1-0 ambush.
I guess you could say that Porch is pretty good at guarding the front door.
There it is.
What can I say? I'm a fan of home exteriors. And Porch taps the brakes.
I'm with you. I'm more of a facade guy. Or as I said when I was 9, facade.
Shot around O'Keefe. Deflecting the way in. Wellington Bramus let it loose for Baltimore. Easily collected by Paulo.
We've all got the word that we learned by reading it and never know how it was actually said. We all have the word.
Oh, of
Let's just be
course.
honest with ourselves. What's your word, Joey?
Well, I'll tell you, my last name it's not mine. I know how to pronounce it, but when your last name sounds like a large piece of machinery,
Yeah.
people just love that. There's a guy named John Baldozer out there somewhere that knows what I'm talking about. Ryan Keto.
Oh, too hard for Keto off the wall. Little softer, and it's right on the forehead of Riley Uri and potentially in the back of the net.
Well, here's Yuri right here. Yuri! Ambush lead!
My apologies for jumping the gun, sir.
Didn't you say something about back of the net?
Something about back of the net. My apologies, Mr. Riley Uri. The speed continues to play. When you can't get a foot in edgewise to stop this guy, you can't take the ball away, you can't take away the chance for him to score. He always keeps the play alive. Riley Uri, one of the most unique players on this ambush team, that he's just pure speed, and that time it plays off.
And
Look
it
at that,
sends us
too.
to the media timeout with this good tribute to Robbie Christo. Ambush 1, blast nothing, the MASL on Galazzo.
Fidelity Building Services Group is a national technical services provider for commercial, industrial, and institutional facilities. Our team delivers proactive, world-class service and innovative building solutions, including HVAC services, design build, engineered retrofits, smart building controls, system integration, energy consulting, emergency power generation, and award-winning mission-critical services to our valued customers nationwide.
MASLsoccer.com, your ultimate home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. Catch the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and so much more. Tune in to Soccer Signal as staff writer Joseph Reyna and veteran coach Mark Litton explain the game with perspectives from both sides of the glass. Don't miss Soccer Signal every other Thursday on MASL TV.
Ambush 1, blast nada. Daniel Torrealba and the ambush red hot as of late. 5 goals, 4 assists, last 3 games. Torrealba on the MVP candidate list in the MASL. Ambush off to a good start thanks to a goal from Riley Uri, and that was touching tribute to Robbie Christo, who's sidelined for the rest of the year with an Achilles injury, showing his jersey to the crowd. There's more than a few Christo jerseys in the crowd. Nascimento against Nascimento. And the blast Nascimento send it wide.
Joey, you mentioned something there, and to the best of my knowledge, we don't vote for league MVP, but if you had a vote, which ambush player is getting it? Is it the best goalie in the league or a top 5 scorer in the league?
I think it ends up in my junk email folder every year. We
answer.
might have a vote. I got to look at my junk email
Poor
folder.
answer. It's a poor answer
I'll
from
I'll
Joseph
have to go with,
Samboni.
all right, I'll have to go with Paulo. I just think it's been
There you go.
things you don't really see. Unfortunately, it looks like an ambush player is
And Mario Falzone have to be walking off under his own power after getting down into the boards. He'll be traded out for Mr. James Thomas, and we'll see if Falzone has to get looked at extra or if he just needs a couple minutes.
the Scottish Falzone steps off. The English Thomas steps on. I'm going with Paulo. He leads in basically every category. You never really see shutouts. For me, it's Paulo. How about you?
It's got to be Polo. It's got to be. I mean, he's the leader of this team. There is a little bit of a of a biased non-statistical factor in my answer, which I just think it'd be pretty special if a guy who's done everything he's been able to do can finish the way he does. Also, how about this sport, Joey? A guy named Mario Falzone, but he's from Edinburgh.
Edinburgh,
Edinburgh.
Scotland. Edinburgh?
I said Edinburgh.
Oh, it's either way, they know. They're watching in Scotland tonight. In Edinburgh.
I love Mario Falzone. Where's he from? Scotland, just like you expected. Why are you asking the question?
Porch off of SK out of play. Joey Zanabone, Matt Rocchio. They might think we're somewhere from the Italian boot, right?
Distant ancestors, yes.
Brings people together all across the world. And that's what's so great about this game.
Somewhere not far from Napoli, there's some people running around pronouncing my name differently.
Well, as long as they're not calling
Our
it
name.
Zamboni.
Our name, my apologies, that was very selfish of me.
Twist by Silla. Sent it through. Pereira thought about it and pulls it back.
How you didn't become a hockey announcer will always baffle me.
Oh, I announced a little hockey. It's hard. It's one of those things.
And you go by a different name, correct? When you
That's
call
right.
hockey, right? You're Joey Zamboni when that happens,
Well,
right?
I go with Joe Williams when I'm at the hockey rink, just to make sure nobody
Everyone boo at your
confuses
screen for that.
things.
Everyone boo at your screen for that.
Only one of us works between periods.
I'm going to say this to the to both the fans and the people in the booth. Change Joey's Chiron.
Oh, wow. Off the bottom of the bar and in. What a strike. It's good for Jairo. Jairo Guevara positively slams it, and the left-footed shot is the first goal scored in forever at the Family Arena against Polo.
Speaking of changing Chirons for people under Jairo Guevara, you can change the Chiron to owns a howitzer. What a shot from Jairo. Put it off the under part of the bar, and you're going to need to do something special to beat the guy that we believe is the MVP of this league. And tell you what, Jairo said, okay, I've got something special for you guys.
It's pretty much the perfect shot.
I mean, incredible work.
A little bit of an odd touch by Nascimento. Quito gives it back to Rob Williamson. We're tied at ones, less than 3 to go in the first quarter. Ozzy Santana using Big Rob. Jairo has gotten this blast team on the board. Don't overlook them. They're trying to grow their win streak to 4 in a row. Shots like that'll help. Jairo, 5'9", out of beautiful Alexandria, Virginia, born on Christmas Day, 2002. Jairo.
And man, he has been on a run. Just 14 games played this season, but all 14 games played this season, 13 points. But he's been on a crazy run now, so now it's 15 games, 14 points. And he now has 4 goals and 2 assists in his last 4 games played. He is stacking points in the back half of this season.
Bichon, escape hatch through Williamson. Varela comes to it. Julio out there with Ozzy. Falzone is closest to the goal. Santana down the right side getting sandwiched. Ozzy trying to stuff it through.
So 7 points in his first 10 games for Guevara. 7 in his first 10. And he's put up 6 in his last 4. That's how you close out a season strong. That's how you put your teams potentially in the playoffs.
Bichon, long ball. Falzone handles it. Yuri, the ambush goal scorer, back out there. Briggs was coming forward. Played through Bichon, who now steps off in favor of Togba. About 75 ticks left in the first. 1-1 game.
I love that Togba and Yuri are on the field at the same time a lot tonight. Both these guys, effort, energy players. Togba brings the physical energy. Yuri, like we were just talking about, brings the speed. Put some playmakers around him like Falzone, SK, and Briggs, who can handle playmaking, scoring, and defense. And these guys can really add.
Oh, talk about playmaking! Riley Yuri!
They can
What
really
a
add goals,
beautiful
Joey.
turn and go. And he and Falzone do it for the TikTok, guys. Yuri on fire, ambush back on top.
Like I said, they can add something. They'll add 2 goals onto the ambush's tally for the night. Riley Yuri, not just speed, shows a little bit of the skill, the English on the pass from the Scotsman. Puts that one in, ambush, take a 2-1 lead.
Yuri tosses the Siteman Cancer Center ball to one of the fans after signing it. Riley Yuri, 2 goals in the first quarter, under a minute to play in this opening 15, and the Ambush have the lead back very quickly. Blast, do they have a quick response? Williamson gets in the way of a pass forward. O'Keefe to Torrealba. Rejected by Rodriguez before Thomas could get to it. It'll kangaroo up to the fans just off to the left of Nate the Great and DJ Prue, letting these fans know that Yuri's on the board twice.
The reason why the Ambush have been winning so many games, Joey, it's because guys like Yuri do their job. They bring the effort, they bring the speed, but then everybody's just adding something more onto their game. That's been the biggest thing, is guys have been doing what they're supposed to do. Torrealba scores, but also Torrealba's been a pest, and he's been great in transition. He's been great in the press and the high defense. Everybody in the Ambush is doing their job plus 10%. And that extra 10% is how you get to be first in the league. Sounds cliche, but it's real.
Remember, the Ambush are 7-2 when scoring first this season, 5-1 when leading at half. James Thomas, slight miss hit, and that should be it for the first. First quarter is finished. Riley Yuri has struck twice. Hyro had a highlight goal for Baltimore, but the Ambush maintain a 2-1 advantage. This is the Major Arena Soccer League on Golazo.
Here's what I'm thinking about the living room. Double hung windows are classics, but what do you think about casement windows? Or maybe sliding windows? Or even a big bay window? With all the styles Window World offers, I've got tons of options that match my taste and budget perfectly.
Which will you choose?
I might need another house or 2.
Take control. Make a healthy change. Maintain a healthy weight. Exercise regularly. Don't smoke or use smokeless tobacco. Eat a healthy diet. Limit alcohol. Protect yourself from the sun and avoid tanning beds. Protect against sexually transmitted infections. Get screening tests. For more 8 Ways tips, visit siteman.woostel.edu/take control.
When the time comes, we must be ready.
When every second counts.
Be ready.
Act fast!
Do not give up.
Push hard! Keep pushing when it's all on the line.
Be there for each other.
Give it everything you've got.
Do more for your team.
Be ready.
Stay ready. Call 911.
Be ready. Be ready.
Be ready.
Be ready. Be ready. Call 911.
Catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV and on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Alex Bostavansky and Phil Levanko are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics. It's Play with Heart Month across the MASL. Commemorative armbands are being auctioned with proceeds benefiting the American Heart Association. Learn more at maslsoccer.com.
15 in. The guys who play under the arch, relatively speaking, up to 1.
Wrong river, Joey.
We're just across the St. Charles River. That's down on the banks of the Mississippi, right? My geography okay there, Rockio?
Said the St. Charles River.
What did I mean to say?
The Missouri River.
Well, St. Charles is in Missouri, so
go.
it's all
There
part
you
of
go.
it, right?
Little geography lesson here. It's not a good lesson, but it's a lesson.
Cross the bridge. Oh, I'd say about 30 minutes from the arch. Fracchio's driving 23.
I was going to say.
One of us obeys the speed limit, the other doesn't.
I resemble that remark.
That's why we are the odd couple of MASL soccer announcers. Well, it's a good pairing here between the Ambush and the Baltimore Blast. If the playoffs started today, both these teams would be in. Only Baltimore would be playing in the opening round, though. Buys for the top 2 seeds. Ambush currently occupying that top spot. One less game than both Kansas City and Milwaukee. San Diego, they've got a game in hand against the Ambush, and they'll be on TV right after us. Tacoma at San Diego. It's going to start at 9:30 Central Time, 10:30 on the East Coast. Good friend of ours, Craig Elston, will have the call as those Sockers try to creep closer to the first place ambush.
Tell you what, Porch has gotten involved in a fair amount today. And Pereira has been defensively and in transition, but not a lot of real possession involvement by Melo or Pereira. It's called for a foul there. Sela, really, we've only called his name once or twice. If you're the Blast, you're not happy you're down 2-1, but you're only down 2-1, and you have yet to really put the ball on the foot of your most dangerous players consistently. If they can start doing that, if they can open up this offense a little bit more, could get a little bit tricky here for the Ambush, although they usually do get better as the game goes.
Pereira put wipers in Togba's windshield. Martinez broke it forward off the restart. Take away the back for Baltimore. In the white with the red trim, they're going left to right at the Family Arena. This is their home the entire weekend. Guys will play again on Sunday. The Star Wars night, 2 o'clock starts. Entry ball intended for Porch, and Thomas comes back, just bangs it to the fans.
I'm just saying, we just got to make sure these guys are going to the post. That's all I'm saying.
Post Sports and Grill.
Or Tucanos, maybe. We just got to make sure they're going to the right places.
Sports Bar and Grill, great place. Yeah. The Post, Tucanos. Got hot shots out here as well.
People have said some things about St. Louis Pizza in the past here. We got to know, guys, there's Bellasinos. Don't worry, we've got you covered.
Delicious post-game treat. We'll be at Hot Shots as well. Players, Ambush staff, a post-game party. And I believe Tucanos is the sponsor for the trading cards that you can get if you come out here on Sunday at 2 o'clock. First 500 through the gates for Star Wars Day. Get the player pack.
They haven't given us playing cards since I tossed one in the air on the open. I think I might have ruined our privilege there.
Well, we play with them. They're trading cards. They're the Ambush official set.
You a big TCG guy?
Do a little Magic with them as well. TCG.
I play Magic.
TCG.
Trading card game.
O'Keefe. Call for a Folly hates.
Yeah, TCG guy.
I stopped at Digimon.
There's a couple Olympians who made Olympians who made hay because at the closing ceremony they were filming themselves doing a live packet opening of Magic cards.
No, really.
Different kind of Magic than what you do.
Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, correct, sir. Nicely done. Joey knows ball.
Baltimore gathering in this end. Luckily, the insert off the wall right to Michon. Michon used the glass. Porch ends up back with it.
Ooh, tricky one there.
On the way.
It's the second time the ref's been involved on the ball. One too many times here.
Quito with Torrealba. Just those two against a host of Baltimore defenders. Torrealba, good little step over, earns the restart for St. Louis.
Ospina with a perfect defensive play. It's tough when Torrealba starts pulling those step overs. Usually he's able to open some space up there. Incredible play by Ospina to get that block.
And now Torrealba. Deprived by Rodriguez. Clearance ends up with Ozzy. Parachutes up over the glass. Baltimore ball.
Would have been the most indoor soccer goal of all time.
It certainly would have been.
Or the most Football Manager goal of all time if you know that game at all.
A Football Manager, I know it in theory.
In theory. That's pretty much all the game is.
Just theory.
Just theory.
We got the real deal for you, and we got it again. on Sunday at 2 o'clock. Ambush take on Baltimore. Be one of the first 500 through the gates. You receive a set of Ambush player cards courtesy of Tucano's Brazilian Grill.
Oh, we're definitely going to get some playing cards on Sunday then. All
Matt Rocchio and Mark Moser will have the call for you.
Going to take you down, Joey.
I believe that'll be on MASL Plus. Make sure you check out MASLsoccer.com for all the latest streaming information, plus stats, stories, schedules, and more. Falzone.
Biggest soccer game going on in St. Louis that day.
Jackrabbits up on him. Rodriguez pincers it. St. Louis City will be out in fair San Diego. A little Sunday night soccer against San Diego FC.
Love a Saturday afternoon game on the MASL. Especially a rematch within 48 hours.
I like a Saturday game. I like a Sunday game as well, right?
Nothing better than getting a little chippy on a Sunday afternoon. Perfect day for it.
Martinez. Ozzy. Oh, Rodriguez. Able to parry that. Pass almost hit Pat Thompson in the arm.
I was going to say, that was a silky move by Thompson to get skinny out of nowhere else. That could have been a very advantageous restart for the Ambush, but now still is a pretty advantageous restart for the Ambush.
Corner kick. Thomas with Briggs directly behind him. Turrialba's on the far side. Ozzy and SK set up at the gold line. Briggs, Glassware, Turrialba jousts it back.
One of those little plays. You steal possession, you score off this. It's one of the plays of the game.
SK to JT. And back up the wall. Ozzy slips in the center circle as Chile chases it down. 10:34 to go until half. Ambush 2, blast 1.
Yeah, Ozzy blows the tire. He heads off into the pit to get that refilled. Randy Martinez jumps out here. Very offensive lineup for the Ambush. Turrialba, Thomas, Martinez, and SK. That'll be a foul.
Turrialba takes a blow, comes up looking for a card. No blue cards yet in this game.
Yeah, Frater, easy call there the way he takes him down, but not too rough to even garner going for the card there. Yeah, spin him around there, but Turrialba made it look a little uglier than it was. Which is part of his
SK
job.
and Briggs. Briggs, left foot, 2 SK off the wall, leaks through to Turrialba. Thomas a second crack at it, and ultimately Turrialba prop planes it way up over the goal.
Look at there, we get a set piece, Joey. A restart like that, played off the wall specifically by Briggs. He's out there with 4 offensive-minded players. Again, it's just an Ambush offense that's using parts of the game that didn't seemingly exist the first months of the season.
No, they did not, and the Ambush have had a massive change in goal differential because of that 13-0 win over Utica. As you pointed out at the end of that game, it was +2 at the start of that game, then +15, -2. Well, it was +2 because it was +2, and then it was 13, +15, and then +1 against Milwaukee, so +16, which is where we're at right now. Ambush were not really among the top of the card as far as goal differential goes, but now it's pretty much the best in the MASL.
I thought they were still at negative, but man, they really have turned things around. 84 goals allowed, the second lowest. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Only other team in the 80s is the San Diego Sockers, the best defensive team in the league, also the best goal differential in the league. They haven't scored 100 yet. 4 teams have crossed that mark, including both teams here with the Ambush and the Blast playing in front of you tonight. But the best defense in the league, owned by the Sockers, second best. The Ambush, 84 goals allowed. Next closest, Strikers with 91, and Blast with 93.
In the Ambush, it seemed like in certainly the first quarter of the season, first third of the season, basically every game was a 1-goal game. It was going to overtime or a shootout. You could basically bet on it. And now the Ambush starting to show their quality and getting some bigger wins. Though, of course, that win against Rob Williamson's old team, the Wave, was by just 1 goal. Guys going down left and right. Whistle does blow right before Paulo scrambled back and scratched that away from the line. Foul coming against St. Louis.
It looked like he just lost his footing. I don't know. That, like, hit the fall there. Was that Pereira who fell? No, that's Melo, who I believe fell, and he just, I don't think he got taken down. I think he just lost his footing there. Carpet can be a little precarious at times. And now Paulo's going to put it together. He's going to join the wall, it looks like. No, he's going to step back.
Foul win against Varela, who's on the wall. They went near post on the shot by Silla. Ambush, yank it away.
Perfect setup by Paolo. Split the defenders, step up there, take away the direct shot. They try to play it off the wall. Good move by the Blast, but better played by this ambush defense that really has been locking things in as of late.
Jairo has the goal for Baltimore, assisted by Chavez. Uri has scored twice for St. Louis. SK and Varela on the apples. Torrealba on a steal. Pass intended for Nascimento. Torrealba nudges to Togba! Steal and seal. Ambush. Biggest lead of the night, courtesy of Daniel Torrealba and James Togba.
Joey, how many times on this broadcast have I begged ambush players to make that pass? For years, we've been talking about the missing final move, final note for the ambush on all of these transition plays. They could get the ball like Torrealba did in the open field. They could get a runner going like Togba did, but the pass across the face that opens up the goalie, that opens up the net, has never been there for the ambush, and that is 3 times now in the last 2 games here, multiple times in the last 5 or 6 games as they put together this winning streak where that pass has been made, and that is the winning play every time in the ambush. Finally, our winning team making the winning play consistently.
Togba puts it in after Torrealba anticipated well at the halfway line. Williamson on a take. Ozzy using Martinez. Great to have you with us as the St. Louis Ambush look to move to 12-3-3 overall this season, drop Baltimore down to 8-7-2. A win tonight would improve St. Louis to 7-1-1 at home. It would be a heck of a way to start a 3-game homestand. Chile lashes that just above the bar. Gathered by Ozzy. Santana. Good move. Rodriguez paddle balls it away. And Martinez.
Well, let's give a congratulations to James Togba. 8th game of the season. First point of the year. Also his 40th career goal in the MASL. Huge goal there for Togba. Gets himself on the board here this season. He's been such a great yeoman's worker. All the defense, all the pressing. Finally gets on the board.
Plays really hard.
Yes, he does.
Gets knocked down quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Former Kansas City Comet. That's where we first met him. He played with the Ambush a couple of years ago. Now back for the second time in a few seasons with St. Louis. Uri. Off the wall to Williamson. Chavez dances it back to Rodriguez. Keefe was closing in.
Again, what I was talking about earlier in the first quarter, Joey. Why does this ambush team winning? Why is it 5 games straight? Why is it 7 out of 8? Because everyone's doing their job and then adding the 10%. First 7 games of the season that he played, James Togba was doing his job. He was blocking shots, had a few of those. He was producing good defense. He was always just in a pest in everyone else's way. And then he adds a goal while they're only up 2-1. They need a little bit of extra push. He makes a perfect run off the turnover by Torrealba. That's why this ambush team has been able to make this jump this season.
And Daniel Torrealba now with 5 assists in the last 4 games.
Teams and defenses have had to focus on him, Joey. And when he has the ball, eyes look towards him, and that opens up other people. As you become a greater scorer in this league, because it's so compact, so much action's happening, as soon as you draw eyes, you have to become a better passer and playmaker.
Porch! Oh, Paulo! Rising up with one hand at the near post. Lightsabers it away. Uri.
Ooh.
Somehow that stayed in play. Baltimore thought it went out. James Thomas tries to flick it past the keeper. Uri collects. It's off the wall and chest of Rodriguez.
If he would have scored that, Joey, we would have been in for some litigation. Red tape would have taken this game over.
No doubt. They would have gone to the video review. Ambush foul. Give it back to Baltimore. Uri on the foul. Riley scored twice in the first. Togba scored in the second. Ambush 3, Blast 1, less than 5 to go. In the second, we should have our media timeout coming up shortly.
And honestly, Riley Uri is just another great example, Joey. You know, he's a great player for this team. 6 goals this season. Gets 2 in one game. Gets 2 in that short of a period of time. just another example of guys stepping up for this ambush team. This is how you stay in first place. They're going to be fighting off an incredible top half of the league, and the Sockers, the Comets, and the Wave. And this is the only way to do it.
First time in 13 years since the ambush came back that the team has been up at the top of the card in the MASL. SK can't keep it.
And Joey, it really is, a story that started about a year ago this time. If you would have flashed backwards about 14 months, the team didn't really have this in their sights. And then they go on that crazy run to end the season, make the playoffs. Can't make anything happen there, but they force something. And now they come back here. They start a little bit slow against a Comets team that was dialed in.
And that was a 5-game win streak in March of last year, February into March last year.
So a year ago, this really began. And there was a little blip on the radar because of all those games against such a good Comets team. And listen, they got to ask themselves if they really gotten that much better to take down a team like the Comets. That's a big question. But the bottom line is this team over this last year has grown so much, and it really has been the kind of not the end of the road, but it's been the next step in the journey for this franchise. And we've been here to see it a lot of these last few years.
We finally get a visitor to the penalty box. It's the ball out of bounds off Silla's foot. Sends us the media timeout. 3:24 left in the second. Ambush 3. Blast 1. This is the MASL on Galazzo.
This is where Anne feels most comfortable. But when she started to feel uncomfortable, this is the MedStar Health Urgent Care team that stepped in and consulted with a specialist, then connected her to a leading cardiologist that diagnosed her blocked artery that could be unblocked with life-saving surgery that allowed Anne to heal more quickly, getting her back to where her heart belongs. MedStar Health, it's how we treat people.
At St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, we understand that care is more than treatment. It's about living your best life. St. Luke's alliance with Cleveland Clinic's Heart, Vascular, and Thoracic Institute enables us to take on the most challenging cases. Make an appointment today.
Paulo in the ambush, up 3-1. Paulo just made a great save, rising at the near post. He's got 5 saves for the game. Only the perfect shot of Hyro has been able to get by him. Christian Briggs, Jeff Michaud, Colin O'Keefe, Ozzie Santana, Mario Falzone out there with Paulo, who glides forward and now escalates the ball toward Falzone, taken away by his fellow Nascimento, the Baltimore Blast defender. Baltimore back in possession. Ambush have had a good grip on the game, have yet to trail, and again, this ambush team is excellent. The results are nearly perfect when leading at halftime this season. In deep, Williams against Briggs. Briggs forces it away. O'Keefe comes back to help, headed to the top of the arc, and it'll be pushed off the wall by Porch.
Joey, your earlier mistake, not your fault. That number 6 jersey for Nico Williams definitely looks like an 8. Absolutely.
It does look like
absolutely looks like an 8. Absolutely looks like an 8.
Welly.
That'll be yeah.
And down goes the Baltimore attacker. Santana from behind against Mello, and Mello goes down in a heap. This is the first blue card. We just talked about a visitor to the box. Now it's actually a human visitor. It's Ozzie Santana who sets Baltimore up on the power play as he hatchets down Mello in the ambush corner.
Tough here for the ambush. Not only is it a juicy restart opportunity here in Sela, 16 assists already coming into the game. He's going to try to add another one here. And this could be a tricky spot for the ambush.
Silla through the middle. Paulo went down to the ground. Baltimore can't smack it home. Mello gets it back closer to midfield. Eases to Pereira. Silla sets up on the right board. A little over 2 minutes left in the quarter. A little less than 30 seconds between game clock and penalty clock. Williamson able to sword that away.
Ambush have killed 7 of 8 penalties that have been assessed to them at home this year. Just 1 goal against. Penalty kill operating pretty well. Overall, 11 of 16, just under 67%, right around league average.
Baltimore controlling up top. Back and forth through Mello. Porch on the right side. Hits it into the legs of Jeff Michaud. Michaud, who's got a great shorthanded goal on this field this season.
Ambush have both the lowest amounts of goals allowed and the amount of penalty kills in this season. 11 for 16, far and away the lowest number for the Ambush on both accounts. They've done a good job not getting penalized both at home and on the road. 8 apiece for the Ambush. But this could be one of the more problematic times, Joey, as the Blast trailing by now by 2, trailing on shots on goal. This could give him a chance.
Mello back to the captain. Pereira into the feet of Williamson. Big save again from Paulo. Deprives Porch on the backside. After Mello earned them the corner on a block shot by SK. Baltimore still trending. Paulo!
All of Baltimore's most dangerous players. Porch, Silla, Mello,
falls
Pereira.
Again.
They're
Porch
all out there right now, Joey.
wide.
And they're coming up short.
Out of bounds was attempt. O'Keefe is nearly certain that this should not go to the top of the bow and arrow. Instead, it looks like it is headed that way with about 49 ticks left of the quarter. Just over 20 seconds left on the kill. DJ Prue gets the round of applause for Paulo. What a performance. Virtuoso once again from the best in the MASL. Oh, and he's done it again. Gets toes to it. Just fantastic. Paulo, unbreakable this year.
And tell you what, Joey, Guevara was not happy at all that ball did not get cycled over and it was kind of wasted on a long attempt. They're fine with you taking these long attempts, the Ambush are. You want to shoot from out wide. Most of the time you're not going to score, Guevara obviously being the one person who has proven that incorrect. But they'll take that all day long. You want to take 20 long-range shots against Paulo, they'll take that every single game. They're going to win those games. So
Ambush at full strength.
They got to get the ball inside, got to.
Silla diagonals one off the boot of SK, swatted at by Paulo. Porch with about 5 seconds left. Drop back. They try to find Mello over the top. Mello off the glass, splashes through harmlessly. O'Keefe and Paulo with the hug as they ambush. Head to the locker rooms. Ambush 5-1 this season. Win leading at half and 9-2 when leading or tied after 30 minutes. We're finished with 30 minutes in St. Charles, Missouri. St. Louis Ambush 3, Baltimore Blast 1. Joey Zanaboni, Matt Rocchio for you on the CBS Sports Golazo Network. We've got Angela Sharp field side, and it looks like she's got Ambush GM and assistant coach Donnie Alberti.
Now we are down here. We got to talk about this a little bit. What is it like for you to be back here after you were guys on the road just last?
I mean, it's exciting. It's definitely fun to play in front of our fans, come back at the top of the table, hear all this energy here. We're just excited.
You mentioned the top of the table. We have to mention that for you, coaching this team that has had its ups and downs over the last couple of years, what is it like to be on the top right now?
I mean, we've worked really hard. We haven't given up any points this whole calendar year. It's just exciting. Everybody's energized about it.
And how are we going to stay on top?
I mean, we're going to keep playing like we just defended that penalty kill right there, and all the energy and the speed and everything. Just keep doing what we're doing.
Good luck in the second half.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela, and thank you, Donnie. Good point. Ambush have not given up a point since January 1st. St. Louis 3, Baltimore 1. This is the Major Arena Soccer League on CBS Sports, Golazo Network.
At St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, we understand that care is more than treatment. It's about living your best life. We're nationally recognized as a top heart care provider in the area, and our proud alliance with Cleveland Clinic's Heart, Vascular, and Thoracic Institute enables St. Luke's to take on the most challenging cases for the highest level of outcomes in St. Louis. St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, a beat above the rest for a life beyond expectations. For a first diagnosis or a second opinion, make an appointment today.
Shoot! He
What's up, soccer fans? Alex Bastiavansky here, back in the MASL studio. Hope everyone had an absolutely fantastic week. A lot went down over the past few days in the league, and I am here to tell you all about it in just 5 minutes. So let's go.
There is a piece of the back wall out. Another opportunity. The goal is missed, and an opportunity, and the capitalization. And a game winner. It is number 19, Jairo Guevara.
The overtime winner by Baltimore against Empire, not without controversy though. Look there, a piece of the wall on the field of play, but the play was allowed to continue. Regardless, it was the Blast coming away with the 5-4 victory. And the Blast had a fantastic weekend. They hosted Milwaukee on the 21st and managed to hold on for the 7-6 win. Ups and downs all season for the Blast, but they are definitely on the upswing once again. St. Louis is the hottest team in the league at the moment, and they flex some muscle against Utica City. The worst blowout in the MASL so far this season. 13-0 St. Louis takes it. Robbie Krista with 4 points. San Diego and Tacoma. Stars legend Nick Pereira returning to his old stomping grounds and adding salt into the wound. He had 2 goals in the game to help the Sockers drop the Stars 5-2 the final score. One positive for Tacoma, though. Danny Waltman recording his 2,000th career save in the MASL. Now in his 11th campaign in the league, Danny has spent all of them with the Stars except for one campaign with the Comets and one with San Diego. Congrats, Danny. And we talked about St. Louis being off the charts hot right now. Well, they took on Milwaukee on the 22nd. They went into the Lions' Den and knocked off the Wave on the road 7-6. That is the 5th straight win for the Ambush. Utica's woes continued on the 22nd in Kansas City, although they showed much better than the day before when they lost 13-0. Much closer than this one, but the Comets still came away with a 6-5 triumph. And Empire finished the week off on a strong note, hosting Tacoma. The Strikers flexing some offensive muscle of their own as they were all over the Stars like a bad rash, beating up on them 10-2. And congratulations, the Baltimore Blast legend Tony Donatelli It was added to the Blast Hall of Fame on the 21st. Donatelli played 10 seasons in the MASL, all with the Blast, putting up 169 goals, 164 assists, 333 points in 186 games, helping Baltimore to 4 league titles along the way. A true legend. Congratulations, Tony. Your scoring leaders right now, Alex Sanchez taking over top spot with 40 points, followed closely by Rian Marquez of KC with 38. Mario Alvarez with 35. Zach Reggett fading a bit right now with 33 points, and Junior Pinal rounding out your top 5 with 31. And your Capelli Players of the Week, Paulo Nascimento in goal from St. Louis. His teammate, Daniel Torrealba, picking up the offensive honor, and Robert Palmer from Empire getting the defensive nod. Let's start with Daniel, who may be the best pickup in the offseason for any team. St. Louis got him from Texas. He had 9 points, 5 goals, 4 assists last week. Defensively, Robert Palmer, what an incredible career he's had. He just continues to add to it. 4 points, 6 blocks he had in 3 strikers games. And in goal, Paulo Nascimento is making a strong case to be named the MASL's goaltender of the year. Another fantastic week. Just one game, but he had 8 saves, picking up the shutout in the win. Plays of the week now.
With Alex Steinwasser in front of him. Finds some space, fires it in the upper corner. Gratterall in his 2nd consecutive game. Toyota Arena, one of the busiest arenas. And another goal by Perez. Goalkeepers are finding themselves scoring today.
Wrecked it in and just missed. Williamson on the volley, he scores.
Way here. Oh, Williamson. DeCristo! Oh, Heider's going to want that back.
Briggs will fire from distance. It's wide. Acrobatics, and what a goal by Axel Chakute.
Torrealba to Cristo in the orange boots. Slices the pass back to Martinez.
Canale reads this off the board. Briscoe! A flying scissor kick for Kai Briscoe!
With 2s and 3s, and so Canale with the bike. Oh my gosh! Jaw drop, hits floor, comes back up. Canale with the goal of the week. What a highlight reel. There is a piece of the back wall out. Another opportunity. The goal is missed, and an opportunity, and the capitalization. And a game winner. It is number 19, Jairo Guevara.
And that's all the time we've got for this week's show. But just a reminder to stay up to date on everything that's going on in the MASL all throughout the season. Be sure to check out the league's official social media outlets. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
As parents, we want to put our children on the right path, one that leads them to become intelligent, responsible, compassionate adults. That path begins with a Catholic education. Catholic schools inspire academic excellence with a balanced curriculum that integrates music, arts, world language, and Catholic faith, while challenging students in the areas of science, math, and technology. Help your child reach their full potential. Enroll in a Catholic school today.
At St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, we understand that care is more than treatment. It's about living your best life. We're nationally recognized as a top heart care provider in the area, and our proud alliance with Cleveland Clinic's Heart, Vascular, and Thoracic Institute enables St. Luke's to take on the most challenging cases for the highest level of outcomes in St. Louis. St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, a beat above the rest for a life beyond expectations. For a first diagnosis or a second opinion, make an appointment today.
We're back here at the St. Charles Family Arena, and the Kidron running around. We've seen some pretty good goals here in the halftime. We saw some pretty good goals in the game as well. 3-1 Ambush lead as they will try. We'll get a little breakaway here. You can see on the screen. Can he put it away? Ambush put 3 away, including 1 early. Riley Urey goes down on the slide. It's been a physical game early. No score early, but then Riley Urey just able to run away from the Blast defense, open up an angle there, and put it in that lower 90. Blast, though, weren't going to be down for long, and what a goal by Guevara. He's been mad he hasn't had more chances at that tonight. That's how you beat Powell. You need an almost perfect shot. Riley Urey, speaking of perfect, wide there around the netminder on the transition play, and then the Ambush, a perfect pass from Torrealba. The goal scorer turned into the playmaker and gave the Ambush the score you see there, 3-1. 11 shots on goal for the Ambush, 14 for the Blast, and yet Paolo Nascimento and that incredible Ambush defense continues to hold down this Blast offense. 4 block shots, 5 saves. Really good job by the Ambush so far to slow down the Blast. Can Baltimore start cracking through with that shot lead? Penalty was a big reason why the Ambush, with the best home penalty kill in the league, kept it 3-1, and that is our score. We head into the second half here on CBS Sports Golazo Network. It's Ambush.
Here's what I'm thinking about the living room. Double hung windows are classics, but what do you think about casement windows? Or maybe sliding windows? Or even a big bay window? With all the styles Window World offers, I've got tons of options that match my taste and budget perfectly.
Which will you choose?
I might need another house or 2.
The Post Sports Bar and Grill. Use promo code AMBUSH online for a buy one, get one free cheesesteak. The Post Sports Bar and Grill. Stay posted.
Fidelity Building Services Group is a national technical services provider for commercial, industrial, and institutional facilities. Our team delivers proactive, world-class service and innovative building solutions, including HVAC services, design build, engineered retrofits, smart building controls, system integration, energy consulting, emergency power generation, and award-winning mission-critical services to our valued customers nationwide.
At St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, we understand that care is more than treatment. It's about living your best life. St. Luke's alliance with Cleveland Clinic's Heart, Vascular, and Thoracic Institute enables us to take on the most challenging cases. Make an appointment today.
Want more MASL action? Follow MASL and St. Louis Ambush on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe to MASL TV on YouTube, where you'll find game rebroadcasts, MASL shows, highlights, and more.
Second half at the Family Arena. 5 saves for Paulo, the MVP candidate, in fine form tonight. Ambush 3, Blast 1 on Golazo. I'm Joey Zanaboni alongside Matthew Rocchio. Make sure you stick around after this one, 9:30 Central Time, 7:30 out on the West Coast. I'm going to be listening to Craig Elston. Soccer Stars, right? Tacoma Stars just signed former Ambush superstar Frank Tayu and his brother Uzi. I guess you could
now,
say
Soccer Stars, you talking about, are we watching something with Paulo, or is that a game?
St. Louis Stars. That's a soccer
right.
nomenclature from back in the late 60s into the late 70s here. Outdoor team NASL featured great players like Pat McBride. Baltimore sends it into the penalty box. Ambush take it over. Stars versus Sockers, 10:30 Eastern Time, CBS Sports Golazo Network. And we'll see how the latest team to sign Frank Tayu and his brother Uzi do. Tayu has been with several teams through the MASL, the all-time leading scorer in league history. Back at it. Will SK pestering. Torrealba takes it away off the wall. He had an assist in the first half, as did SK. Stepping toward the Baltimore defense. Bad touch. Randy Martinez. Torrealba. Sternum work for Rodriguez. Foul on the way out by Martinez. Pretty easy call. Baltimore takes it over the back. 14:10 to go in the third quarter. Ambush 3, Blast 1.
Same thing as that second quarter, Joey. I was bringing it up. Just not enough times have the Blast been able to orchestrate an offense that has put the ball for guys like Melo in dangerous spots. Pereira's been involved, but it's been mostly behind the yellow line. Same thing with Sela as well. They got to start putting this ball on the feet of their most important players, at least close to the square in front of Paulo. Everything outside just isn't a threat for the Ambush. It's only 3-1. This game's completely still there for the Blast to take. But they're not going to do it if they're not getting the ball to their best players. You can't just lean on one player. All four of those guys have to step up.
Michaud. Teaspoons for Thomas. Thomas uses the wall round Nascimento, rejected by the rest of the Blast defense. Headed back in by Jeff Michaud. Michaud to Briggs. Briggs close to the top of the box. Hit it into a sensitive area for Williams. Williams keeps his feet. Will he have enough to mark Briggs? Yes, indeed. Scrambles back. Heads the diagonal down. Varela with Briggs. Julio goes chipping. Just misses, making this 4-1. Nascimento, the Baltimore defender. Rodriguez. Williams moving pretty good on the other side. Held up by Ozzie. He's back, Chavez. Chavez. Varela went down, and Chavez flushes it.
My Lord. Woo-hoo! Daniel Torrealba stepped back. There's a new dancing king in town. The moves, the footwork. Oh, was that pretty by Alejandro Chavez.
Sent down Varela, and Varela almost got it away from him on the ground, but Chavez, an extra move, goes back post against Paulo. 3-2, just over 2:20 into this third quarter. Baltimore back within one.
There's nothing better in the sport of soccer, indoor, outdoor, adults, kids, side netting. It's the best thing in the sport. What a job by Chavez there to move the net. Beautiful shot. What a move to put down Varela, keep his feet, and then you have the angle, but you got to put a little English on it to really settle it in that side netting. What a gorgeous job by Chavez. Makes it a one-goal game.
Yuri to SK, and Yuri. Corkscrew down from behind. He spills at the goal line. Chavez, who had a chance on the other end before he scored the goal, about a minute before he scored it, where they push him a little past in the side box. He didn't get a hold of it. Does score. After the foul by Frater. Ambush. Go through the ventilation shaft. It's Torrealba down the side. Torrealba.
Anything you can
Windex.
do, I can do better.
Ozzie. With Rockio singing show tunes. Ambush.
You know that's going through Daniel Torrialba's brain right now, right? Am I wrong?
The score at Freighter, hip down by Thomas, allegedly, and Thomas none too pleased with the call.
He sees a cat like Chavez drop a teammate like that. You don't think he's thinking, all right, at some point revenge is going to come, and it will be with me stepping over some poor fool in a white and red jersey. If you don't think Torrialba's thinking exactly that, I think you're crazy, Joey. I think you're crazy anyhow, but I think there's adds to it. Chavez, by the way, 15 points in 13 games now, 8 goals, 7 assists. Good season so far for Alejandro Chavez, his 3rd in the league.
A solid year for him after the Thomas foul. Ambush able to put out the flame.
Another guy who's been a point-per-game player for the Blast, and just proving out a point, though. This collective scoring from the Blast, they can start putting it together. Maybe the Stars get active in this last frame and a half and change this game.
Nico Williams gets by Briggs.
Ooh.
Chased down from behind by Kido, and then Paulo. He won't let him go any further. There's a challenge flag down as the Ambush try to break it out. And Torrialba's like, why did he not let us finish the play? Shane Butler has been taking more than a word or two from this Ambush team over the last couple of minutes. He goes to the Baltimore Blast bench and talks it over. This will be our first video review of the ball game after the Baltimore head coach David Bascom threw the flag.
Baltimore is challenging for a 2-minute penalty.
Did you know he's almost a knight?
Shane Butler?
No, Bascom.
Almost a knight.
Yes, he is.
So he's about 4:30 p.m.
He has an MBE.
MBE, I know that.
It's not now. He's not the full length of the award of the order, but he is technically close to being a knight.
Pretty amazing.
And now it looks like he got his foot under Ryan Kidu's on that one, Joey. But at the same time, it also looks like he's doing a good job. Oof.
Kido and then Paulo made him a sandwich.
Sandwiches him. I mean, I think he's got a lot of ball there. Paulo doesn't really play the ball at all in his play. That's the difference there. You could argue, if you're the Ambush, about the little extracurriculars that Williams gets involved in. Undoubtable.
After review, we have a 2-minute penalty against number 17 for boarding.
Yeah.
Darn it,
Baltimore
will go against
retains
Paulo.
their challenge.
Yeah. Williams goes through Kidu. Pretty clean. Nothing wrong there. Paulo then takes it to another level, and it's obviously dangerous. He barely plays the ball off the wall, plays the man, and unlike hockey, can't do that. And the Ambush now will have to figure this one out, kill another penalty.
So Paulo will go in the box. I believe they have to put a dummy player in there with him. We'll see if anyone joins. And Jose Ogaz is into the game. Ogaz,
yep, they're
he's the backup tonight. Pollo Cortez not available. And it looks like Kido, who almost committed a foul or a penalty himself,
he gets run over.
Across.
Gets run over by Williams and then has to take a little extra seat. So now Ambush, we talked about it earlier, 7 of 8 at home, 8 of 9 in killing penalties here in the Family Arena. Can they?
Williamson won't let him stuff it in.
Do it again, and now they're doing it now not only with a man down, but also a backup goalie on the pitch.
Ambush 1 for 1 on the penalty kill so far tonight. Did it from about the 2.5-minute left mark in the first half to basically the end of the first half. Big kill that Donnie Alberti praised. Off to a good start after Williamson stopped Ospina right in front of the goal. Ospina still in the middle of it all. Baltimore playing on the edges. Porch lets loose.
Joey
Ogaz flares the hand at it, well wide.
Little wrinkle here. Pollo Cortez has played 2 games, started 2 games for the Ambush in this run and gotten 2 wins. He is not rostered tonight, so Jose Ogaz, who has appeared in just 1 game with 1 save and 1 goal against so far this season, he's in net right now for the Ambush, taking after Paulo gets knocked with that penalty. So even though the Ambush have one of the best goalie tandems in the league, they don't even get to use the other half of that goalie tandem the one few times you would like to.
Williamson blockades again on the shot by Sila. And Sila giving it to Pereira. Bad hit from the captain, and Pereira skies it over everybody as we drizzle under a minute left on the penalty kill for St. Louis. Third quarter, just north of 10 minutes to go in it. Ambush 3, Baltimore Blast 2. Ambush have never trailed in this game. Travella out by Michaud. Pereira went to the circle to intercept. Baltimore gets it back under control on their side of the yard. Mello, relatively quiet in this game. Piece is over. Sila measures it out, gives to Mello. Pereira on the near side board. Just to whip it across. Chili Willie steps to it. Dolphins back to the center line. Sila gives it to Mello. Mello. Ospina back to Sila. Pereira backdoor. Finds a friend in front, and we are tied. Well, we just said a moment ago he's been kind of quiet in the game. Mello has been mellow, but he acts up here. After a Paulo foul, Baltimore scores against the backup keeper Ogaz, and it's 3-3 after their power play strike.
And again, every time the ball finally touches the middle against the penalty, that's usually when teams score. In fact, both the times the Ambush have let up goals in the power plays, and again, now they are 7 of 9 for this season. Anytime the Ambush have allowed those 2 goals at home, it's been because they've allowed one deadly pass right into the middle that has immediately allowed a goal. Credit to Mello, by the way. Like you said, finally get involved, pushes his team lead in goals up to 2 goals ahead of his next closest one, was his 16th of the season. And really, only like the second or third time he's really touched the ball inside of the yellow line. Ambush, if they can continue to slow him down, they got a chance tonight, but they got to come back now. 3-3 tied up for the Ambush in this game.
Quito applies pressure. He's out of the box as well after serving as the dummy player. If the ball was in play, he would have returned before Paulo, but Paulo comes back on after the power play goal. Ambush commit a foul. Baltimore wants to go quick. Referee says no, no, no. Did we mention the Ambush have played a lot of close games? 7 out of the 17 Ambush games this season have been decided by 1 goal. 6 of the 17 have gone to overtime. 3 of the 6 overtime contests have gone to a shootout. 3 of the 11 Ambush victories have been in overtime. In a total of 5 games, this is the most bizarre part of it, total of 5 games for the Ambush this year have been decided by a score of exactly 7-6. 3 of those 5 times the Ambush have won it. All the kids say 6-7 nowadays. Ambush say 7-6. All the kids saying, let's go Ambush. As Paulo turns away that shot. Slash to the far post by Wellington Welly Bramus. Ambush will take it over on a Baltimore foul that sends Ozzie down. It's Welly who is saddled with a foul at 8:22 to go in the third.
I do think it is, Joey. Of this current 7 out of their last 8 games that they've won, only 1 of those games has gone to overtime, and that's the loss to the Milwaukee Wave. Every other game has been won in regulation.
From Ozzie! Ambush lead!
Super Mario!
And that's how you take this one game down in regulation. Important there for Falzone to get another one. He's having a solid game. Him and Riley Urey. Perfect pass. Great drive. Little 45 cut, if you will. Right through the middle of the defense. Perfect pass. And Falzone put it where the tender couldn't get it. Little short post action there. Rodriguez just a little bit late. I think he probably thought Falzone was going to take the wide part of the net. But he takes the skinny route. And that's the way to go there. Beats him to his left. And Falzone's got a nice little game. Only 1 point, but he's got a pretty sweet dance earlier as well.
4-3 Ambush back on top. Again, I've never trailed in this game. Good creative work from Ozzie Santana. What a solid pickup he's been over the last month.
Yep.
Drawn heavy praise from Donnie Alberti and the coaching staff. Indeed, Baltimore almost dies it up once again. Half volley. Pereira just misses.
Santana, his 5th game of the season. 3 goals and now 1 assist. 5 games, 4 points. Not half bad for a guy you're adding off the bench at the bottom of your roster to kind of fill things out. Continue to give the best you can. You're playing 2 games inside of 3 days. You know you can't play your full roster. You've caught some injuries. Great job by the ambush finding that depth in the system.
I think Ozzy really has something going. This guy has been a solid pickup, and of course Valzone as well. Ozzy Santana, just a little shy of his 27th birthday, making a name for himself in MASL. Valzone, wonderful skill, great around the goal. Mario out of Edinburgh, Scotland. The 28-year-old, he's been a breakout star right alongside Torrealba as the ambush have raced to the best record in the league. Trying to go to 36 points. They can win it in regulation against Baltimore. SK not fooled by Chavez, who tried to put the same move on that he got by Varela on before his goal. Yuri chested out of the air. Yuri on hat-trick watch. Maybe got the ankle swept by Mello, latest goal scorer for Baltimore. Sluices forward, Chavez past SK. Riley Yuri back on the defense. Helps jar it back to Paulo. Paulo, Saran wraps it off the glass. Quito. Ryan Quito has a bounce up on him, trying to penetrate the box. Baltimore excavates, but O'Keefe reclaims. Ball at the feet of the ambush as we drip under 6 minutes to go in the third. St. Louis 4, Baltimore 3.
Enjoy going back to the fact that ambush haven't needed overtime, haven't needed those extra frames as much as the early season. I just think it is another way to highlight the growth this ambush team has taken. They are not the same team that needed to just kind of leg out a point every once in a while in overtime. They're not a team that lost a bunch of games to the Comets. This is a very different team over the last 2 months. If they can keep playing like this into the playoffs, they could do something special.
5:35 left in the third. It's our BJC Healthcare Media Timeout. Ambush 4, Baltimore 3. This is the MASL on CBS Sports Golazo Network.
At St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, we understand that care is more than treatment. It's about living your best life. We're nationally recognized as a top heart care provider in the area, and our proud alliance with Cleveland Clinic's Heart, Vascular, and Thoracic Institute enables St. Luke's to take on the most challenging cases for the highest level of outcomes in St. Louis. St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, a beat above the rest for a life beyond expectations. For a first diagnosis or a second opinion, make an appointment today.
MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. Capelli Sport is the official and exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider for the Major Arena Soccer League. Visit MASLsoccer.com to shop the all-new MASL fan store for the latest MASL and team gear.
Great shot of the Stan Musial Veterans Memorial Bridge on the Mississippi River. Stan's such a great supporter of soccer in this area.
Yeah, gotta love the shot of the two kids with the respective home teams' jerseys on.
Ambush and St. Louis City.
One of those teams in first place for a chunk of this year.
And one of them right in the middle of the table with one tie in one game. Dead center. Guys from Baltimore, they're about the center of the table in MASL.
The fact that the indoor team allowed less goals last week is insane.
That's right, as you said on the
That's
broadcast
so insane
last
to me
week.
still.
We had an outdoor game, then me and Rocky drove over here. We got here about 5 minutes before game time, and who would have thought it? It's a 1-1 game, and the outdoor game is a shutout in the indoor game. Impossible. Pereira can't slip that one in at the back post.
That reminds me, I mean, we talk about Paulo, the Brazilian Roblo.
Pereira!
What a goal, what a shot, man. This Blast team is hunting, Joey.
And Tagba gets pulled down by Silla. Blue card out immediately. Ambush going on a power play. Second of the game, first for St. Louis.
And on the flip side of things, I already talked to you guys about how the Ambush, one of the best kills in the entire league. The flip side of that is, unfortunately, one of the most anemic power plays.
Tagba was breaking loose at the halfway line. Silla sends him to the green mattress, and now he's on Exile Island with 4:32 to go in the third. Ambush looking for an insurance goal.
Percentage-wise, Ambush not bad. 35% sits third in the league behind the Blast themselves and the Wave, but just 4 of 9 at home this year on the power play. Can they rise up to 50% in their own arena? Put one in here again. Can they get the central question, Joey? Can they get the ball in the box ahead of Rodriguez? That seems to be the question. And if you can do that, it seems like your chance to score on power plays in this league jumps up to about 60-70%.
Brings Varela. SK working it around. Torrealba wants it on the other side. Thomas is in the middle close to the gold line. But Torrealba with his hands spread wide saying,
Briggs is
open.
On the back post in the box, though, himself.
Torrealba, his shot blocked at the source. Ambush will take it back over on a restart. 3:37 left in the quarter. And $1.05 left in the change jar on the power play.
Tell you what every Baltimore team gets correct, put a little bit of the Baltimore flag on your jersey. It always looks good.
This is a battle of two of my hometowns. You knew that. I grew up in Baltimore and St. Louis as a kid. Slipped your mind.
I would have guessed Connecticut.
Pat Thompson got the block, and now he'll poke this loose after Mello interrupts it.
I'll be honest, much like how the coast calls flyover country, the East Coast is essentially one big blob to me. It's all the same thing.
I have some great memories in that area. Baltimore.
North of D.C.
Beautiful Ocean City, Maryland.
Oh, really?
The water is about 45 degrees until August.
Awesome, awesome.
Went back there a few years ago in May, and it was a refrigerator, let me tell you that much. Torrealba.
Yeah, but think about you crack open that refrigerator far enough north, and what is there? Lobster.
Crack open
so
some
much
crab
lobster
in Baltimore as well. Torrealba frisbees it right into Rodriguez with Briggs lurking down low. Long ball out. SK nods it down. Silla is about to come back. Remember when we moved back to St. Louis from Baltimore? That was what they sent us away with, was about 5 crates of blue crab, and it just does not get any better than that.
I'm very jealous of people in Baltimore all of a sudden. Great city flag, get some seafood going. In fact, the Baltimore Blast were being repped by son of Baltimore Stavros Halakis, who was repping them in a recent video he put out there. Funny comedian, Joey. I don't know if you're a fan. He always reps Baltimore, and he was repping the Blast. That logo and that
Ozzy wants another assist.
Produces some pretty sweet gear.
Such a good franchise. Ed Hale, the former owner of the original Blast, purchased the Spirit, the Baltimore Spirit, back in 1998, held the rights to the Blast name and renamed the Spirit with the Blast moniker.
And Joey, we're St. Louis people. We're kind of biased to a sports team name that has the word Spirit in it. We're a little biased to that because obviously one of the greatest named NBA teams that hasn't that. Will probably never be the Spirits.
Spirits of St. Louis and Marvin Barnes, Moses Malone.
I don't know why I said NBA. They obviously weren't an NBA team. They were an ABA team. My apologies.
ABA, they got paid by the NBA.
Thank you.
Because of the TV rights for many, many years.
Isn't that a crazy story?
It's a new documentary out on that.
Google the Silna brothers, people out there, if you never have.
Ozzy Silna, Ozzy Santana knifes it through. Falzone couldn't quite get to it. Under a minute to go in the third. Great explanation of St. Louis sports history by Matt Rocchio. He's alongside me, Joey Zanaboni. We've got Angela Sharp as our reporter tonight. Will S.K. is the man with the ball. Falzone taps it to him.
Credit Pereira, one of the leading scorers on this team, and he's been so involved defensively.
Crowbar by Falzone, pries it off the wall. Works it back through Michaud. Williamson, less than 30 to go in this third quarter. Ambush 4, blast 3. Uri still on hat trick watch. Was deflected first by Baltimore, then went off of Falzone. Ospina pincers it off the wall. Porch sending Frater. Disrupted by a sliding Williamson. Gets it back off the wall to Paulo. About 5 seconds. SK straight on. SK too high. 3.7 seconds left. Baltimore ball. I'm not sure they'll be able to do much with this, so they have to start out of the back.
Big note before we head into the fourth quarter. This game is opening up. Transition might be the thing that decides it in this final frame.
And we'll transition to the fourth. It's a good one. Ambush, blast. St. Louis up by 1. This is the Major Arena Soccer League. Action from the Family Arena in St. Charles on CBS Sports, Golazo Network.
Get ready to make unforgettable memories with your little ones at Elmo's Got the Moves. The all-new Sesame Street live show coming to your neighborhood. You'll be out of your seat and dancing along with Elmo, Abby, Cookie Monster, and their furry friends. May 3rd, the Family Arena. Tickets available at the Carroll House Furniture box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. An experience you and your child will treasure long after the final song. Elmo's Got the Moves. See you on Sesame Street.
At St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, we understand that care is more than treatment. It's about living your best life. St. Luke's alliance with Cleveland Clinic's Heart, Vascular, and Thoracic Institute enables us to take on the most challenging cases. Make an appointment today.
This is where Anne feels most comfortable. But when she started to feel uncomfortable, this is the MedStar Health Urgent Care team that stepped in and consulted with a specialist, then connected her to a leading cardiologist that diagnosed her blocked artery that could be unblocked with life-saving surgery that allowed Anne to heal more quickly, getting her back to where her heart belongs. MedStar Health, it's how we treat people.
Want more MASL action? Follow MASL and St. Louis Ambush on Facebook and Instagram. Catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV and on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Alex Bostavansky and Phil Levanko are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics. Think the refs missed one? Find out on Under Review with Phil Levanko and MASL head referee Ryan Sigich. The MASL's most controversial show. Catch it every Friday on MASL TV on YouTube.
Start of the fourth. Gorgeous shots of downtown St. Louis, top of the arch. Shout out to John Elam, our producer, his great crew, their drone work, everything right on point, as always, as we welcome you back on Golazo. Ambush 15 minutes away from a 12th win. The first place Ambush in control 4-3 as Jeff Walker ties with Torrealba. Martinez Falzone.
Joey, we like to leave the listeners with at least learning something today. So coming with the arch, how about this? As tall as it is wide, the St. Louis Arch.
I believe I knew that.
I mean, I wasn't telling you. I was kind of telling everybody out there.
What is it, 530 feet?
Oh, 600 something.
630 feet?
How dare you bring up a fact we didn't already know? I had the square thing, and
You're the research end of this,
I had the
Rocky.
square thing. I wasn't prepared for the actual number thing. How dare you, Joey Zanaboni?
I'm just speculating.
630, let's go.
630, that's right.
You had the 30, I had the 6. Let's put it together and look what we do.
630 feet. And they said it was impossible to build. Torrealba.
Why would they have said that?
Knocks it out.
We've been building arches for 2,000 years, Joey.
Martinez
playing
picks it
soccer
up.
for shorter than that.
O'Keefe. He's got it just inside the gold line.
Although arches and soccer both come from Italy. How about that? Maybe that's why the city works so well.
Torrealba. Wanted Martinez. Gone with it to the blast. Williams in pursuit. Cut off by O'Keefe.
Williams has really been pushing this transition game for the Blast the entire time. If this fourth quarter is decided by transition play on both sides, I expect Williams to have a big play for the Blast. He has been pushing this ambush back line. He's been physical. He's got a bowling ball kind of figure to him. He's tough to stop once he gets going.
Big Rob Williamson, you could say the same about him. Paulo pushes it to Varela, turns it back to Big Rob.
He is kind of the ambush's Troy Polamalu, if you think about it.
Torrealba. Nascimento. Torrealba tries to win it back. Willie. Baltimore able to keep a minute and a half into this fourth. Ambush 4, blast 3.
By the way, Joey, no offense to you or anybody else out there, but also I think this ambush team has also showed just the power of hair. They get Torrealba. He's got the Shriek in there. They got Rob Williamson. The team was doing really well when Will Eske was dominating with the gorgeous locks, but they add more good hair and they become a better team. I'm just saying, Joey, again, no offense.
I can't contribute in that category. Contribute less and less every single year.
Some would say every time you take a shower.
Red Onion shampoo is for. Mello, who has the latest goal for the Blast, briefly tied it 3-3. Can't squirt that one in. Helps win it, though, with the help of Jairo. Welly ends up back with Mello from Silla.
Perfect
Entry
move.
Pass.
What a save.
Paulo.
Oh. I mean, what an incredible save. Guevara should have had his second of the game, Joey. I don't know how. On that perfect little move, he fools Rob Williamson, gets an open spot perfectly. This one looks rough for the ambush, unfortunately. But how did he get a save on that one? I have no idea.
I think that's Ozzy down in the corner.
Should that be a blue card? I mean,
Rob Williamson certainly thinks so.
I mean, he turns his back to him to kind of look like he takes a little bit of the blame away. But, I mean, he very clearly, to me, throws his hips back a little bit.
Jairo's going to the box.
I mean, he should. Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah. If Paolo's play from earlier, which relative to the ball was probably a little bit more egregious, but if it's a blue card, Guevara sticking his butt out kind of in the behind him to cause that kind of contact, it's got to be called the same way, I think.
And it is challenged by Bascom and the Baltimore staff. Ozzy goes
that's
down.
pretty clearly a hip check from Guevara into the boards. That's a good call, I think. I mean, he throws his body in there. He goes into the boards. Boarding's a good call.
We will see if it stands for the second power play of the game for the St. Louis Ambush. Up 4-3 with 12:34 to go. Ambush have never trailed in this one. Let's see how this works out.
After review, the call on the field stands 2 minutes for boarding.
Yes, sir. Shane Butler and his crew get this one right. Each team has now sent 2 men to the box. Jairo, the latest banished. Paulo out there with Varela, SK, Torrealba, Thomas, and Briggs.
Could be huge for the ambush. Haven't had a lot of breathing room tonight. 2 goals is the most they have had, but getting themselves a little bit of a buffer here with just 12 minutes to play could be the game changer. And as usual in the power plays, the play changer will be if they can get this ball in the middle to right now James Thomas.
12 minutes from a 12th win.
Sorry, get the ball to James Thomas in the middle in front of the goalie and not 20 feet away.
Pulled back toward the goal line at the moment. Briggs is in the corner. Redirects that. Almost slides it home.
Yeah, they're trying to set up a kind of sharp angle. I think Briggs might have been trying to go all the way across to Torrealba.
From Mello.
But now you'll see Thomas is going to play deep. Good job by the Blast by forcing the ambush out here. Essentially the nucleus of this power play attack out by the yellow line.
Thomas rejected by Rodriguez. Unicorn horns it. And apparently committed a foul.
Yeah, he didn't like that call for the physicality, but too much contact in the air as he went for that header, I think, is what is going to get the call against him. Good throw there, but ambush immediately reclaim and restart.
After Pereira went down, ambush about 50 seconds still to play with in this 5-on-4.
That happened fast.
First did not yield pay dirt. Ambush 0 for 1 on the power play, 1 for 2 on the penalty kill tonight. And Chile, Varela. Still have Briggs in the far corner. Torrealba coming back to the goal line out of the near corner. And it bounces off his foot back into the referee's crease. 20 seconds. SK. Thomas took it briefly. Mello clears it to the yellow umbrella sign. Varela back to SK. Briggs moving off the ball into the corner.
Letting the penalty killing team dictate where your offense is going to run from seems like an odd move for the ambush in this moment.
Thomas to Briggs. Oh, Torrealba diving stop, top hand by Rodriguez just as Baltimore got back to full strength.
Pretty good setup there. Ambush had the ball outside. They threw one person in the central, then Torrealba, the second man coming up, really gave him a wide open angle.
Pereira blocks Briggs. Christian works to another chance, slams it off of Nascimento. And our Nascimento, Paulo Nascimento, comes through the equator to claim it. About 10 to go in this ball game. Ambush, if things get tied back up or, God forbid, they fall behind, we'll look at those 2 power plays and wonder what could have been. Still, though, Ambush in control.
And really, he didn't even really make him sweat. Can't get a goal. It's nice at least to cause some fear.
Not particularly threatening until Torrealba, right when we got back to even strength, slammed that shot.
Yeah.
Togba pressuring the ball.
And that came more of an open kind of play. I mean, they can create that kind of look from Torrealba, 5v5. The fact that that's all they got from a 5v4 is a little disappointing.
Welly wide at the near post. Despite St. Luke's side.
Despite having a mid-range percentage this year, the ambushes have never looked dangerous on the power play. And that was one where they definitely looked borderline anemic and left the good chance to take a 2-goal lead on the board. Like you said, Joey, will they regret that? Will they regret either of those?
Finish one here. Bounce to Ozzy down the left side. Rodriguez bobsleds out of the box, saved it with his legs.
Ooh, I think Donnie thinks that Rodriguez was out of the box when he slid for that one. Rodriguez threw his hands up and he didn't. He's saying, what are you guys calling for? What are we stopping for? What's going on here? Well, buddy, that's on you.
Alberti and Locker quick on the challenge flag.
St. Louis is challenged for a potential hand card.
And we will see. Again, the call on the field was that he stopped with his legs. If it hit his hand, though, Ambush will have a great chance on a penalty shot for a 5-3 lead.
How far was he out of the box in the first place?
He was a good distance out of the box. It's just where did this hit him?
I mean, he was only about a step out. I think it might have caught his hand. It didn't jump out to me in the moment, Joey, but
might have gone off
he
the
definitely
leg and
slides.
hand, yeah.
He slides out, and as he's sliding out of the box, I think he makes contact with the ball. Does his hand then get involved? That's all.
Well,
that's all feet there. Yeah, that's all feet there.
That might have been leg. I think Shane Butler and his crew did get this right.
That is one heck. I mean, that is one heck of a save. Considering
After
the ball,
review, there is no handball on the play. St. Louis loses their challenge.
the slide is taking him out of the box, and he doesn't go to it with his hand, it can be a little bit tricky in that moment. Incredible patience and wherewithal and presence of mind by Rodriguez to make that all-leg save as he's sliding out of the box. He's got a smile on his face, and I would too. That is a silky play to keep this a one-goal game. And again, also maybe a potential missed pass by the Ambush there. Talked about it earlier with Torrealba. They made that extra pass. That one is a little bit trickier. Ambush blasted a great job of taking away that extra pass angle across the face. But I'd like to at least see the Ambush and I'd like to see the Ambush potentially put that one across the face, maybe off the wall by Ozzie Santana. Ooh.
Williamson sent it downfield, and Williams got in the way.
He might have been. Was he hamming that up a little bit? Well, he popped
Looked serious for a second, but he gets up
the
quick.
way he popped up after falling down like that, and I think he actually had to be removed because they were going to stop play after he got hit in the face there. I think he might have been joking around a little bit, and Nico Williams is gesticulating wildly from the bench at the official. I think because they weren't in on the joke there, Nico. They're not comedy fans. They're referees.
Williamson, I think he is all right. Williams off the foot of Williamson. O'Keefe down the wall, Falzone. Falzone with the game winner right now.
They're here to call a game, not assess whether or not you're doing a bit.
I've heard that many times. Heard that from some high places.
Joey, none of us have to assess whether or not you're doing a bit. We're always thinking you're doing a bit.
Well, good to know what you really think of me after all these years, Rocchio.
Have you not been doing a bit this whole time?
Falzone tries to.
Listen, 35 years is a good run for a bit, but I thought you had it down.
Well, you and I have only known each other for about 20 of those. 34 years, by the way, not 35. Porch.
We're only 34?
I'm only 34.
That's good to know.
And Pereira from the Badlands. Mello through ball. Lucky for the Ambush, Pereira went down against O'Keefe, trying to fly swatter that home. Baltimore still threatening. Paulo stops Porch. Paulo forces it away as Porch closed in on the left side of the box. Frater, tied still, turned toward the Ambush beach. Welly. Good defense. Varela will scooch it away. Michaud keeping the ball. Welly goes down, and the Tweety Bird blows.
Interesting
this goes against Michaud.
Something to watch for when the long hair number 93 is out. 8-game point streak from him in jeopardy right now. Can he add something to move it to 9 games and also give the Ambush some breathing room?
A little under 7 minutes to do it, at least in regulation.
Yeah, missed call there. Christian Briggs might have gotten away with a push on Guevara.
Jairo Guevara was mad, just as Michaud was mad a moment ago. Shane Butler's crew has heard it from both sides.
That's how you know you're doing your job right. When no one likes you.
Well, I guess I'm doing a great job.
That's what I tell people about this broadcast. We're killing it.
Off the board and through the Ambush box. Nascimento slows him down. Willie comes back to the center circle as we get under 6.5. Ambush 4, Blast 3. Frater held up by Briggs, leaving for Nascimento, around a sliding Thomas, but Paulo anticipates perfectly. Comes out to the borderline to quell things.
Ooh, he's usually so good on those throws. Puts a little spin on it to have it die right on the runner's foot, but even for Riley Urey, a little too far there from Paulo. Every possession matters right now. Little turnovers like that could potentially be back-breaking mistakes.
Porch downfield. Porch centrage. Baltimore almost ties the game. Williamson gets in the way.
Porch has been so good for the Blast tonight. He's been everywhere, defensively, offensively, as a playmaker, as a passer, in
Almost
transition, as
Pereira.
a connector.
Now
Porch,
Frater blocked by Urey.
He's had the game of the night for the Blast. If they walk away from a win, number 4 is one of the biggest reasons, if not the reason why.
Good player. Pereira finds a friend. Espina. Ooh. Williamson inside with Frater.
Watch the arms.
Ball never gets through the forest. Martinez Off his forehead, kangaroos of the fans. And this will take us to the BJC Healthcare media timeout, our final of regulation. Ambush 4, Blast 3. This is the MASL on Golazo.
Here's what I'm thinking about the living room. Double hung windows are classics, but what do you think about casement windows? Or maybe sliding windows? Or even a big bay window? With all the styles Window World offers, I've got tons of options that match my taste and budget perfectly.
Which will you choose?
I might need another house or two.
Final 520, the first place Ambush, the fifth place Baltimore Blast. The St. Louis Ambush 4, Baltimore Blast 3. Joey Santaboni alongside Matt Rocchio. Best Ambush season. This is the team.
Ever?
Was revived out here in St. Charles in 2013. And the team's closing in on a 6th straight win against a quality Baltimore team that stays in town for a 2 o'clock tilt on Sunday. Make sure you join us for Star Wars Day and get those player cards brought to us by Tucano's Brazilian Grill.
Joey, what is your favorite Star Wars movie?
I'm big on Phantom Menace, you know that.
Jesus, that was not the answer I expected at all. My apologies for the reaction. I didn't see it coming. Sorry, I was not prepared for that answer. What's the best Star Wars
will
movie?
do fine.
What's the best Star Wars movie?
No, they won't.
A Watto
that's my
impression.
Yeah, that's my Watto impression from Phantom Menace. Is the ambush?
Right. This is what I get for asking a question and having high expectations for the answer.
Paulo.
Good Lord.
Wish I was here with you on Sunday. I'd break that out.
Phantom Menace.
Williamson bangs
It's
it off the board
well,
for Torrealba.
but I didn't see that one coming.
I can give you a better answer at the next stoppage in play as Torrealba hits it off the wall. Rodriguez able to gather it. And Pereira and Baltimore controlling the back. They've remained pretty composed here. Taking the fight to the ambush in the late going. Mello. Mello around SK. Polo! Bicycle kick! Luckily, it's just high off the boot of Freighter. Another one. Pereira on the backside. Didn't hit it the way he wanted. Off the feed from Mello. And the ambush able to get it out of the trouble for the most part. Foul on Baltimore.
Joey, speaking of late goings, catch the late game tonight. Stars and Soccer's coming up next here on CBS Sports Golazo Network. 10:30 kickoff time. Setting it up nicely right here on the network. Another great game between the Stars and the Soccer's coming up. Again, that Soccer's team easily the best defense in the league.
Star Wars: A Virgins and the Force. Find it on YouTube. It's a fan edit of the 3 prequels, edited it down to a 2-hour and 12-minute classic.
I was reading about them the other day.
Urban legend says the guy who edited it, Topher Grace from That 70s Show. And if George Lucas had plopped that down on the table, out of nowhere, he would have won the Oscar. They would have carried him out on their shoulders. It's that good. Check it out and check the ambush out on Sunday with Star Wars Day.
Is the story there that Topher Grace did that like during COVID or something, or like during like a break in movies because he was bored?
Nico Williams has a
That's
tapped
fast.
away by Tagba. It was prior to 2020.
Okay.
I believe 2010
Still,
it was hacked together. Porch trying to hack this together for Baltimore.
I mean, he's pretty much been doing nothing since the Ocean's 11 movies.
Doing something there. Long shot, and he gets it into the upper 90 with 3:01 to go in the fourth. It takes about a perfect shot to beat Paulo these days. And just like Jairo's goal, I think that chapstick the bottom of the bar, it did, as it flew on home. 4-4. We got a tie ball game in our hands.
As we're talking some Star Wars, use the Force, Umar. And boy, did he ever. 2 perfect goals for 2 of the 4 goals from the blast. First, we have Guevara, his incredible one off the bottom of the top bar to stay in. And then Sela, an absolute scorcher from long distance up into the upper 90. Perfect goals. The only way you're beating a potential MVP tonight.
Well, the Ambush have a go-ahead strike in them. Ambush have never trailed in this game. Martinez, a ball that lacks nutrition, ultimately bounces up over the glass. 2:39 to go. Ambush, who are the OT kids at the outset of the season, certainly would prefer all 3 points in regulation rather than the 2 you get for winning in overtime, or the 1 you get if you lose in overtime. Williamson fighting for the ball against Williams. Nods it down. Yuri. Welly got a piece of him. Yuri looking for a call. That's been a motif for the Ambush.
I mean,
the late going.
Considering the when it happened and everything around it, like the context around it, Sela might have just put up a goal of the year candidate. That was
Certainly
an incredible scorcher to tie a game in the last 3 or 4 minutes of a fourth quarter, where we're talking about a team fighting for a playoff spot versus the #1 team in the game right now. I mean, that's goal of the year type stuff there.
And now they're going for the lead. Welly gets it for him. Williams, Welly. And for the Baltimore Blast, the first time they lead in this game comes with just $1.54 left in the change jar. Wellington Bramus threads it under Paulo on the feed from Williams. Quite a turnaround for the visitors.
Bramus has been such a solid player for the Blast this year. 32 shots on goal this year. He's put away 4 goals. He's got 7 blocks. Game-winning goal early this season. He has been a solid contributor for the Blast this year. Easily, though, of his 5 goals this season, that's got to be the biggest one, giving them a late lead here. The Ambush have been so good in the final frames of games, Joey. Surprising here that this is where we lose it, but we were just talking about it. You miss the chances like they had with those power plays. It's hard to continue to win without taking advantage of them.
Absolutely. Some chances left out there for St. Louis. Timeout. Ambush gathering around Jeff Locker and Donnie Alberti to talk this over. Unfamiliar territory for St. Louis. I can't lie, a little bit stunned right now. Felt like the Ambush were outplaying Baltimore for the most part, though the lead never swelled to an insurmountable advantage.
Joey, leading at half, the Ambush 5-0-1 coming into this game. Leading after the third, the Ambush are 7-0-2. They've also 10-1-2 when they score 5+ goals. They'll obviously need to hit that mark to try to win tonight. And again, they are just 4-3-2 when they allow 5+ goals, as they have done tonight. So the Ambush, some things breaking against them that usually go well. 7-1-1 also when they are scoring first. To your point, Joey, that is the case tonight, and they are struggling a little bit. When you look at the Ambush at home in the fourth quarter, one of the top scoring teams in the league with 16.
And the 6th attacker in play in the pink jersey is Chili Willie SK. So the goal is unguarded as the Northwest High School Band. They take us to the restart with a rendition of YMCA.
Ambush man up just like the last power play, but the last time they operated outside of the yellow line for the majority of that power play. With essentially a power play here, man up, 2 minutes to go. Can they start to operate their offense below the line and a little bit closer to the goalie? Because that's the only way they're tying this one up, Joey.
A lot of times they'd use Paulo as the 6th attacker, but pulling the goalie here after a couple of late goals by Baltimore.
Uh-oh.
And the Blast sense they can put this out of reach. Varela barrels a header forward. Thomas flicks it on. Torrealba corner right by the stretch U side. Pushes it back to Julio. Varela with about 65 seconds left. Giving to SK. Chile. Briggs out of the corner. Just missed on the pass to Thomas. Porch curves it loose. 53 seconds. Ambush down by 1. Baltimore taking the lead with just under 2 to go.
Joey,
SK.
At home, they've scored as many goals in the fourth quarter, 16, as they have in the first half total. This is a fourth quarter late game team, but they might have lost it here. Can they salvage this one? Just 32 seconds.
Thomas to SK. Stifled at the source. 25 seconds. Chile drags it infield. Martinez. Under 20. Varela, bad touch. Wanted Briggs. Briggs works hard to get it back. Thomas went down as the shot never gets through for Christian. Under 10. Briggs, 5 seconds.
Torrealba wants it.
Martinez flares one. Rodriguez, an easy catch.
And Torrealba, you can see him at the bottom of the screen, Joey. He was screaming at the rest of his team right there for not getting the ball over to that left side.
He was off to Martinez's left, seemingly wide open. Instead, Martinez either tried to play it to Varela, or maybe that was just a hoisted shot. There's some frustration for the Ambush as they squander this contest. Baltimore wins 5-4. Ambush led nearly the entire way. 58 minutes and 6 seconds of either leading or being tied. Baltimore scored with 1:54 left in the game, and they steal this one, salvage victory from the jaws of defeat. This will sting for an Ambush team that outplayed the Blast most of the way.
And it's just a massive, massive couple points here, or a few points, I should say, for the Baltimore Blast. Puts them in a great spot now, pressuring the Sockers. If somehow the Stars can shock the Sockers a little bit tonight, would really shift the top of the board here in the MASL.
Let's find out how the players felt about it. We've got Angela Sharp on Axios Field.
That's right, guys. I am down here with Mello. You say it with such a good accent. All right. You came over here smiling, so we got to talk about this. The game was very much in the Ambush favor during the first half, but you guys never let go. How do you guys manage to keep holding on so you can come back to win the game?
Well, when you play in the road, you know it's going to be always a tough game. The indoor only finished on the, they finished the fourth quarter. So we always talk about no matter what, we keep playing, we never give up. We had a bad first half. We talk about on the halftime that, we need to step up, we need to compete a little bit better. And I think on the second half, that's what we did. We just compete a little bit better. We just, challenge the balls a little bit better. And, this game we did good. So, but that was a tough game. That was like an even game all each day. And like I was the indoor, right? We play all each day, and it's such a fun game.
Well, I like that you're smiling about it because it's a fun game for you because you came out on top. Now, you guys are coming back here on Sunday. We're going to redo this whole thing again. What are you going to take from today's game to maybe make sure you do again or improve on for Sunday?
I mean, you're going to take the same way, like all the respect for the Ambush. They're a good team, but we're a good team too. So, we just got to come with our best game. So, I mean, nothing changed to us. Not because we win today that, on Sunday we're going to come, with all the respect again and just play our game. That's the mentality.
I love that it's so much respect between these two teams. So we thank you very much and good luck to you on Sunday.
Yeah, thank you guys. See you guys Sunday again.
Jonatas Mello, one of 5 different goal scorers for the Baltimore Blast. Jairo, Chavez, Mello, Silla, and Welly scored. Silla had the game-tying goal 11:59 of the fourth, and then at the 13:06 played mark of the fourth, it was Wellington Bermoose. Angela Sharp is with Riley Uri, who scored twice for the St. Louis Ambush.
That's right, guys. I have Mr. Uri down here. We're going to start good. You started off so strong, those 2 goals right off the bat. I heard people cheering for you and yelling for you even more. What is that like for you as a player to know that you came out and put your team on the board and in the lead right away?
Yeah, it means a lot. I'm thankful for the fans for coming out. It was a great crowd. And, my teammates allowing me to do what I do. And, yeah, it was a good start, obviously. Obviously,
a great start to the game. Now, the Ambush was unable to capitalize on those power plays. What are you guys going to work on or take into account? Because Sunday we do this all over with the same team.
Yeah, I think they're just little mistakes that we can clean up. And yeah, I think we can be more dynamic on our power plays, and I think just as a whole, as a team, defensively, offensively, I think we can all just be a little bit cleaner.
Now, I got to say, there's something a little new that the Ambush fans are doing when you score a goal. They're saying your first name, and then the fans are yelling back your last name, Yuri. Does that kind of give you a little bit of chills? It makes you happy, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for my last name. I'm very proud of my last name, so it's nice to hear it.
It's nice to hear it cheering around there. Well, I know you guys have autographs to be signing, and then we have to do this all again on Sunday. What would you say to the fans about tuning in to Sunday's rematch?
Yeah, come, keep supporting us. We're going to put on a show. It's going to be fun anytime you come watch us. And we're obviously going to look to win every game we play, so we'll see you there.
See you there. Good luck to you on Sunday.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Angela, and thank you, Riley Yuri. He scored twice. Tagba had one. Falzone had one for the Ambush, but ultimately Baltimore comes back, wins it 5-4. Ambush players on the field. They'll be signing those Sumner 1 posters that were given away today at the Family Arena. You guys are already coming out for that. We'll tell you a little bit more about it and recap the action right after this. We're back on CBS Sports Golazo Network.
Get ready for Filter. Live in concert with Finger 11. And Local H. Friday, March 13th, the Family Arena. Get tickets now at the Carroll House Furniture box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Don't miss this show.
When the time comes, we must be ready.
When every second counts.
Be ready.
Act fast.
Do not give up.
Push hard. Keep pushing when it's all on the line.
Be there for each other.
Give it everything you've got.
Do more for your team. Be ready. Stay ready.
Call 911.
Be ready.
Be ready.
Be ready.
Be ready. Be ready.
Call 911.
Ambush fall to the Baltimore Blast 5-4. John Gates, Christian Briggs, all the Ambush players out there signing the Sumner 1 posters on Axios Field. Kind of a tough one for the Ambush, and these guys are still out there for the fans even after the tough finish against Baltimore. I thought they played pretty well overall. Good game, but a tough finish. Ambush ended up out-shooting Baltimore 7-6 in the fourth, but St. Louis could not score in the fourth while Baltimore scored twice. Baltimore outscored St. Louis 4-1 in the second half of this game. Each team finished with exactly 25 shots on goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Just Ambush just not efficient enough in their production today. We talked about the long-range shots early from the Blast that weren't worrying Paolo. Well, not enough shots were worrying Rodriguez and the Blast from the Ambush's side, and that's why they lost that. Especially when you talk about those two power plays, nothing dangerous. They never got the other team sweating, and that's why they walked out here without any points.
Ambush 0 for 2 on power plays in this game. Baltimore 1 for 2, and When Paulo was out of the game and Ogaz was in it, Melo scored the goal, and that helped Baltimore immensely on the comeback trail. It started out very promisingly for St. Louis. Riley Uri had a couple of goals early in the first quarter, and again, the Ambush did not trail in this game until 1:54 remaining. Uri was on hat-trick watch most of the night. Riley got his first. Baltimore was able to respond on a picture-perfect shot from Jairo. They had a couple of those to beat Paulo. Uri got the Ambush back on top at the end of the first 15. Paulo was good in this game, 11 saves, though he does take the loss. James Tagba from Daniel Torrealba made it 3-1 briefly. Ambush. Paulo made a number of saves early that kept St. Louis on top, but Baltimore, give them a lot of credit. They just kept coming. A pretty move from Chavez, then the finish, then Paulo commits the boarding foul against Nico Williams. That led to that goal by Melo to make it 3-3. Falzone, though, on a feed from Ozzie Santana, got the Ambush the lead back at 4-3. Jairo, with just minutes to go, banged a shot home. Minute 54 left. Welly threads it, and that is off a feed from Nico Williams for the final goal. 5-4. Baltimore wins it over St. Louis tonight on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Reminder that the Tacoma Stars, now with Frank Tayu, are visiting the San Diego Sockers. That one starts in just under 10 minutes right here on Golazo. Well, how did the Ambush bounce back from this, Matt, and come back strong on Sunday against this same Baltimore team?
They got to execute. Like you said, they outplayed tonight in a lot of the areas, but just no execution, didn't take advantage of the spots that Baltimore gave you. You just got to play a cleaner game. I mean, Baltimore did not do enough in those first three quarters. That's why you had the lead. But there's no reason that game should have been 4-3. The way the Ambush were playing, they should have had a 2 or 3 goal lead, and they couldn't take advantage of it. Bottom line, take advantage of what you can create against Baltimore on Sunday. You should be able to walk out with all the points. You are a good team. This isn't a flash in the pan over these last 7 games, winning 6 of these last 7, or 7 of these last 8, I should say. It's still 7 of the last 9. It's still a great run for the Ambush. They just got to put their head down and finish this season strong.
I definitely agree. I think this Ambush team has a lot of quality. It's not a series of gimmicks or tricks that's gotten them to the 11-win mark. Don't let any frustration creep in. There was a little bit of frustration toward the referees. I think there was a little frustration at the end about some of the setups and the situations as the Ambush fell behind and then tried to tie the game. Keep the positive attitudes and keep believing in each other. I think this group really cares about each other. And there's actually a really good article about that through MASLsoccer.com, something I shared on my own personal Twitter a little bit earlier because I thought it was very engaging and showed a little bit about how this Ambush team has come together. Make sure you check out Joseph Reyna's new piece on MASLsoccer.com. It's called Brotherhood Built for Success, and it's a great look at how the St. Louis Ambush have climbed from the basement of the MASL over the last several years all the way to first place. Inspiring stuff that has great photographs from Sunshine Lemanek, our official team photographer, and has great contributions from across the MASL. Ambush and Blast, they'll do it again. Star Wars Day at the Family Arena in St. Charles. Make sure you're with us at the Family Arena as the Ambush take on Baltimore. Be one of the first 500 through the gates. Get a set of Ambush player cards, courtesy of Tucano's Brazilian Grill. Then we'll have our Window World mascot game on March 7th. More on stlambush.com. For Matt Rocky, I'm Joey Zanaboni saying so long. This has been the Major Arena Soccer League on CBS Sports, the Golazo Network.